The tarot, a collection of cards rich in symbolism and history, has captured the human mind and curiosity. Originating in the mid-15th century as simple playing cards, they became a divination tool that intertwined with the occult and mystical. These cards, often dressed in rich colors and mysterious imagery, serve not only as a mirror of the soul, but also as a window to hidden truths and future possibilities. But the tarot is not only used by mystics and diviners. This instrument of insight has fallen into the hands of kings, queens, and visionaries, determining decisions that have changed the course of history. From Renaissance courts to the private chambers of power, the tarot's presence has been linked to intriguing stories, guidance, and secret knowledge. In this exploration, we will delve into the annals of history to uncover how these mysterious cards have influenced the lives and decisions of notable historical figures. Every card drawn, every interpretation of the cards is more than a game of chance. It is a dance with destiny, a consultation with the unseen forces that govern our world. As we embark on this journey, we will seek out the hidden role of the tarot in shaping the history of our world, revealing stories that have too long remained secret. The history of tarot cards originated in Europe in the 15th century, originally serving as a game. The transformation of these cards into tools for divination and reflection has been a journey marked by cultural and spiritual evolution. The Renaissance period played a key role in shaping the destiny of the tarot. In this era, which was a blend of Greek and Christian thought, tarot cards were seen as a subversive means of encoding and transmitting concepts that could be censored by the prevailing religious orthodoxy of the time, especially the Roman Catholic Church. The Church's misgivings about the tarot, perceiving it as a threat to established religious teachings, inadvertently fed further into its secretive and mystical aura. In addition to the Church's view, the tarot's connection to cabala, an esoteric Jewish mysticism, should be noted. The tarot deck, consisting of 22 cards from the major arcana, finds an intriguing parallel with the Kabbalah's Tree of Life, which is also connected to the 22 paths. Each path, and therefore each tarot card, symbolizes a spiritual lesson or concept, suggesting that the tarot may have been used as a visual tool for Kabbalistic teachings. However, it is important to note that this explicit connection between the tarot and Kabbalah is primarily a development of 19th century European esotericism. The tarot's path to divination began in the late 18th century in France, spurred on by figures such as Antoine Coeur de Gébelin and Jean-Baptiste Aliette. Ethel. De Gébelin's speculative theories about the tarot being a repository of ancient wisdom and Ethel's practical application of these theories to divination laid the foundations for the evolution of the tarot into a mystical divination tool. In the late 18th century, including during the French Revolution, interest in mysticism and the occult grew, which was fertile ground for the development of the tarot as a divinatory practice. This period also witnessed the rise of the occult in the 18th and 19th centuries, where the tarot found its place alongside spiritual and esoteric beliefs, especially in secret societies and spiritual movements such as Freemasonry and spiritualism. The modern era of the tarot, especially in the late 19th and 20th centuries, has witnessed further developments. The publication of Rider Waite's Tarot in 1909 marked a significant milestone, establishing a model for most modern tarot decks. The subsequent proliferation of the tarot in bookstores and major retail chains in the late 20th century cemented its place in mass culture. Famous historical figures who used the tarot. The use of the tarot among European royalty and nobility paints a fascinating picture of its historical influence. While there is no direct historical evidence linking specific royalty to the use of the tarot for divination, the enigmatic nature of these cards and their rise during the Renaissance suggest their potential presence in royal courts. Take, for example, Caterina de' Medici, the Italian noblewoman who became Queen Consort of France through her marriage to King Henry II. known for her interest in astrology and the occult, Catherine's court was a hotbed of astrologers and clairvoyants. It can be assumed that the tarot, with its rich symbolic imagery and divination potential, would have fully met her interests, especially given the tarot's connection to Renaissance esotericism. However, direct evidence of her use of the cards is not explicitly documented. Similarly, England's King Henry VIII, known for his turbulent reign and break from the Catholic Church, may have encountered the tarot at his court. The mixture of religious reform, interest in mysticism, and intrigue in the court life of the era provided fertile ground for the use of the tarot as a means of seeking guidance in political and personal decision-making. However, again, specific accounts of Henry VIII's use of the cards are not historically documented. In general, during the Renaissance, tarot cards became associated with noble games and entertainment, rather than the occult practices for which they later became known. Their transition from toys of the elite to divination tools occurred later, in the 18th century, especially in France. Therefore, while it is tempting to imagine figures such as Catherine de' Medici and King Henry VIII consulting the tarot, the historical evidence is based on conjecture rather than certainty. On the other hand, however, the integration of images and concepts from the tarot by artists and writers is sure evidence of the profound impact of the mystery cards. Artists such as Pamela Colman Smith, who collaborated with Arthur Edward Waite to create the influential Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck in 1910, infused the cards with visionary interpretations that revitalized the tarot tradition. Smith's illustrations were based on her experiences in the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, a secret society whose members included influential thinkers and writers such as William Butler Yeats and Bram Stoker. These figures immerse themselves in the study of the occult, astrology, and the paranormal, which undoubtedly influenced their work. For writers, the rich symbolism of the tarot offers a unique toolkit for exploring the depths of human experience and the subconscious. Writers such as Alexander Chee, Alia Curtis, Laurie Filippelli, Meg Hyertz, and others have used the tarot as a means of enhancing creativity, overcoming writer's block, and adding depth to their characters and plots. This creative practice is not limited to contemporary authors. Historical figures such as William Blake have also found inspiration in mystical and esoteric themes, which parallels the introspective and archetypal nature of tarot cards. Stephen King and John Steinbeck, for example, have said that they use the tarot for clues and inspiration in their writing. The cards serve not only as a source of creative imagery, but also as a framework for structuring narratives and exploring complex character dynamics. Aleister Crowley and E. Waite, other notable individuals in the world of tarot, left an indelible mark on its development and interpretation. As already mentioned, A.E. Waite, a member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, is famous for creating the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck in 1910 with illustrations by Pamela Colman Smith. This deck was revolutionary for its time, being one of the first in which all 78 cards, including the minor arcana, were illustrated with detailed images. This not only makes the tarot more accessible, but also enriches the narrative and symbolic depth of the readings. Waite's deep involvement in esotericism, Freemasonry, and his scholarly writings on topics such as divination and the Holy Grail have influenced his approach to the tarot, making the Rider-Waite-Smith deck one of the most influential in modern tarot practice. Aleister Crowley, another prominent figure in the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, created the Tarot Deck of Thoth, which was illustrated by Lady Freda Harris. The Deck of Thoth, published posthumously in 1969, is known for its complex, astrologically and Kabbalistically based symbolism. Crowley's vast knowledge of astrology, ceremonial magic, and various occult practices profoundly influenced the design and interpretation of Thoth's tarot. The Waite and Crowley collages have had a significant influence on modern interpretations and symbols of the tarot. Their contributions go beyond simple card design. They have provided rich, symbolic frameworks that continue to inspire and challenge tarot enthusiasts readers and scholars worldwide. The Tarot and the Secret Societies. The mysterious world of the Tarot has interesting connections with secret societies, especially Freemasonry and Rosicrucianism, which have historically been concerned with the study of esoteric wisdom and symbolism. Freemasonry, known for its symbolic and allegorical rituals, has shown an interest in the Tarot, especially in the esoteric circles of Masonic studies. The evolution of the Tarot deck is closely tied to key Masonic figures who contributed to its development. The Swiss Freemason Antoine de Gebelin, in his 1791 publication Le Monde Primitif, was among the first to claim that the Tarot deck contained mysterious ancient wisdom, possibly from the legendary Library of Alexandria. This view suggests that the Tarot is a compendium of esoteric knowledge intended for those who are proficient in the symbolic language, which attracted Freemasons to its study. We have already discussed in detail the A.E. Waite, who was also a Freemason and a member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, who had a significant influence on the development of the Tarot. Rosicrucianism, with its blend of mystical, philosophical, and scientific insights, also intersects with the history of the Tarot. Prominent occultists and Rosicrucians, such as Eliphas Levi, who was also a Freemason, played a key role in linking the Tarot to Kabbalistic, alchemical, astrological, and Hermetic concepts. Levi's work links the Hebrew alphabet to the major arcana, adding another level of mystical interpretation to the Tarot. The role of the Tarot in secret societies such as Freemasonry and Rosicrucianism is marked by the pursuit of esoteric knowledge and spiritual insight. The contribution of these societies to the development of the Tarot has contributed to the deeper symbolic meanings in the cards, making them not only a tool for divination, but also one for personal and mystical exploration. How does the Tarot work? The idea of the Tarot is to offer a unique way to connect with the inner world of the individual, allowing them to uncover hidden aspects of their being and find answers to questions that concern them. Working with the Tarot can be seen as a journey of self-discovery, where each card serves as a mirror of the soul, reflecting different emotional, psychological, and spiritual states. The Tarot worker engages in a process of dialogue with his or her subconscious. The cards act as catalysts that stimulate intuition and help one reach deep insights into challenges, dreams, and desires. Each card carries with it symbolism and archetypes that are universally human and can be interpreted in a way that is relevant to a person's individual experience. If we do not see the Tarot as a tool for predicting the future, we can say that it rather provides an opportunity for reflection on the present and future possibilities. The cards can reveal hidden factors that influence our situation and point us towards different courses of action. They help us to better understand our inner conflicts and find balance between the different aspects of our lives. The idea is that by working with the Tarot, we can get a clearer picture of what we really want and therefore what steps we need to take to realize our goals and dreams. This sets a framework within which we can consider our options and make more conscious and inspired choices for the future. We can say that in this case, the Tarot becomes a spiritual tool that helps us to enter a meditative state and seek the answers hidden deep within our consciousness. Why are there so many different types of tarot decks? The various tarot decks represent a unique synthesis of art, philosophy, and spirituality, with each artist or occultist bringing their unique vision and interpretation to the creation of the cards. This diversity of perspectives is why tarot is a system that is open to a wide range of interpretations and interpretations. The variety of decks allows readers to choose a deck that best resonates with their personal beliefs, interests, and aesthetic preferences. Each deck offers a different view of the world, a different palette of colors and symbols that can evoke different intuitive responses and insights in the one who uses them. The creators of tarot decks, in turn, often draw inspiration from a wide range of cultural, mystical, and artistic traditions. This leads to the creation of decks that can incorporate everything from classical art and mythology to contemporary and cutting-edge themes. Choosing the right deck is an intimate process. Each deck has its own soul and energy that can resonate differently in different people. What do the different types of tarot cards mean? In the mystical world of tarot, the 78 cards represent a unique universe of symbols and meanings. The division of major and minor arcana is fundamental to the structure of the tarot. The major arcana are the heart of the deck. They encompass 22 cards that represent major life archetypes and themes. Each of these cards symbolizes a particular aspect of human existence, such as the beginnings, challenges, changes, spiritual enlightenment, and completion of a life cycle. The major arcana cards can be seen as stages of the soul's journey through the various experiences and lessons that life offers us. The minor arcana relate to the everyday aspects of life, divided into 4 suits that relate to the 4 elements: scepters, clubs, fire, swords, spades, air, bottles, hearts, water, pentacles, diamonds, earth. These 56 cards represent different emotions, situations, and challenges that we face every day. Each of the suits is associated with a particular element and area of life, such as personal growth, mental processes, material achievements, and emotional connections. By combining the cards from the major and minor arcana, the reader can gain deep realizations and guidance for making decisions or understanding life lessons. Thus, for those who practice tarot, it is not just a deck of cards, but a mirror of the soul, and a compass that can guide them to a deeper understanding of our life paths and inner battles. For them, each card carries with it knowledge and wisdom that, when unfolded, can illuminate their path to a more fulfilling and conscious existence. And what do you think of the tarot? Share in the comments.